on fire to the studio mics. Tune in weekly, we're dropping the spikes. Analyzing every punch, every kick that lands. Maniacs in the game, playing with fans' demands. Ken's got the insight, Joe's got the flair. Mapping out the fights, we'll take you anywhere. So grab your popcorn, buckle up tight.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What's up? What's up? Back again, MMAniacs Podcast, right after UFC 320. Joined as always by my buddy Bare Knuckle Ken. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Just want to throw a short disclaimer out there. So if you see me doing this during the podcast, it's not because I'm tired or bored. It's because I'm in pain. So I have a neck injury that I continue to train through because I'm an idiot. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do for your mental health. You know, mental health is important, guys. And for me, I can't just sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else train, you know. So, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just agreeing with you. It's totally different actually taking part in it versus having to sit there on the sideline and be like, yeah, you guys did good.
Which, you know, I'm not opposed to, you know, obviously cheering for my teammates and stuff like that, but it's much more fun when you can participate.
Yes.
Even if you have to deal with some pain to do it. You know, jiu-jitsu is painful, so that's where I'm at. But what can I say, Ken? Poatan. Jama.
Holy fucking shit.
Did I call it or did I call it?
I guess that whole thing about him being injured and only being about 40% was 100% fucking truthful.
Yeah. A lot of people were, you know, the week leading up to the fight, once that story came out, when his manager said, you know, Alex isn't the type to complain, but for the first time he was actually complaining. They were like, it sounds like an excuse, right? Mm-hmm. And they're not totally wrong, you know, like when you hear fighters do that, it's sort of like, yeah, okay, dude, like every fighter goes into a fight injured, right? Mm-hmm. But I think taking Saturday night's fight completely out of the equation just for now, if you go back in hindsight and you look at that first fight, it was very apparent that Alex wasn't his normal self, right? It was. Now, we equated that at the time to Magomed Ankalaev's strategy. We said, you know, he was able to neutralize him. But now in retrospect, like you said, it sort of feels like Alex wasn't bullshitting here, that you know, he really wasn't up to snuff, you know. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I just want to point out my prediction for the fight was accurate. I picked Alex, and I said that he would do although I didn't pick, you know, the absolute domination that he put on him. But I did say that he was going to come forward. He was gonna let his hands go. And you saw what happened. It was just an absolutely dominating performance. And it wasn't just the punch. It wasn't just that right hand that caught Ankalaev on the temple. Like, I wish that the UFC weren't such buttholes about their copyright, because they literally put up the fight, the entire fight, like 5 minutes after it happened, which they never do. So you can tell how excited they are to have Alex back as the champ. But I would love to break that fight down, because Alex, so first of all, you watched the fight, right? Yeah. So I knew, like going in, and, you know, to be clear, I picked Alex, but I said I was more hoping that he was going to do what I was saying he should do, right? But there was no certainty. Like, I never said that I was certain that he was going to win, but I felt like he was going to do what he needed to do. The moment that he came into the octagon, or that Ankalaev entered the octagon, and you saw Alex Pereira's face, I knew right then. I was like, Alex is locked in.
That night for Uncle
That motherfucker is locked in, dude. He's dialed in and he's ready to go. Like, he did not take his eyes off Ankalaev until the fight started, dude. Like, he literally, and he didn't even blink. No blinking. No, like, you see Ankalaev, he's over there, like, loosening up, warming up. Alex is just stone faced, just standing there, dude, just looking at him. And I'm just like, ooh, like, it's bad enough you have to fight a guy like Alex Pereira, but if he's pissed off like that and he's locked in, like, he's like a heat-seeking missile, dude. And you're just sitting there like, ooh, this is not going to be good. And as soon as the fight started, I love how he just immediately closed the distance, throwing punches, closed the distance, got him on his back foot from the very beginning, right? And he did another thing that I was saying that he should do: kick the shit out of those legs, man. Like, now, granted, he didn't need to land 30 leg kicks. He only landed 3, but those 3 leg kicks did something that changed the whole course of the fight, right? Because Ankalaev, he fights southpaw. Like, his best base is southpaw. Once Alex kicked that right leg and kicked it good, he immediately switched to orthodox. And Ankalaev, see, what's Alex Pereira's money punch?
Left hook.
Left hook. Absolutely. Yep. That's his money punch, right? You know that. I know that. Ankalaev knows that, right? So when he switched to orthodox, he was keeping his right hand up here to defend that left hook, right? And he was looking for the left hook. He was expecting Alex to come with the left hook. So when Alex threw the overhand right, he didn't even see it coming. It was an excellent. I believe Alex did it on purpose. I believe they trained that. I believe that they knew that Ankh was expecting that left hook. So he's like, look, if I can get him to switch orthodox, he's going to be expecting that left hook. We can hit that overhand right. And he did. He connected. And that punch, I mean, you saw Ankalaev immediately dive for the legs, right? He pulled the Conor McGregor. Remember when Diaz was stinging McGregor's ass and all of a sudden he shot for the takedown? Like,
yeah, that one I don't remember because that was in the time where I wasn't a reliable fan.
Well, in Diaz McGregor 1, Diaz in the second round was lighting McGregor's ass up with the 1-2s, and McGregor, he was on the verge of being finished, so he shot for the legs, and Nate like went with him. He's like, "Oh, okay, you want to take me down? You want to do jiu-jitsu? Okay." And Nate just strangled him. Like, he took him down, mounted him, pounded him a couple times. McGregor rolled over and gave him his back. Nate hit him one more time from on top, like hit him in the face, and then just choked him. Ankalaev did that desperation leg shot. That's how you know when a guy is really, really hurt. Like, as soon as he just starts grabbing for legs, you know you've got him, dude. And I thought Alex did a really good job of closing the show, like not letting Ankalaev off the hook. It was those hammer fists, right? Like, those hammer fists probably weren't doing a terrible amount of damage, but he was keeping busy. And, when you're landing consecutive unanswered shots like that, it gets the referee's attention, right? But I like how Alex, he was landing those hammer fists. Then he starts looking for his shot, and he's not really finding like that straight shot that he wants. So he switches to the 12-6 elbows, right? And the 12-6 elbows were connecting. Like, he hits like 3 or 4 of them in the head, and then he switches hands and goes to the ribs, gives him 3 of them to the ribs. Then he goes back to the left hand and gives him 4 more unanswered on the head, right? What did you think of the stoppage? Like,
granted, the stoppage being so early in the fight, you kind of feel a little but with how he was all over him, he almost didn't give the referee a choice but to stop it. Because, like you were saying, he had all these punches go undefended. How many times does the UFC preach that as long as the guy is intelligently defending himself, an emphasis on intelligently, there was nothing there besides, holy fuck, let me try and cover and get some kind of something blocked.
Yeah, I totally agree.
This is how I want to see Pereira fight almost nonstop, is that raw aggression, because it fits him so freaking well.
Yeah, but I also different tools for different jobs, man. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I want to see him fight like that every time, because there's
not
guys
every
that can
single
make
time,
you
but but like for a general type of thing, I like to see him being the aggressor, applying that pressure. Now, it doesn't have to be the crazy shit that he did against Ankalaev, but I want to see him being the one dictating all of this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think he's much better on his front foot than he is on his back foot, right?
Yep.
But I was just pointing out like that, I don't know if I want him to be quite that aggressive in every fight, because there are people who can make you pay for it, right? But I do get what you're saying, and I agree with that. That I want to see him. I want to see aggressive Alex, but aggressive smart Alex, right? This was aggressive Alex, and it was smart. It was calculated, but it was also risky, right? Alex was taking risks in there.
Yes, but I honestly think from the way it seems he approached this training camp is that he knew relatively what Ankalaev was going to do compared to what he was planning on doing, and that he had no real answers for it. That's why he went complete full throttle.
Yeah, I think definitely part of the strategy, because last time you saw Alex sort of hang back. He fought the whole fight kind of on his back foot, right? And we saw what Ankalaev can do coming forward. So I definitely think that Alex's strategy this time was, well, let's see what he does off his back foot, right? Let's see what happens when you pressure him. And so he decided to pressure right from the jump, and it was a very impressive performance. Alex absolutely dominated. I saw a couple of trolls that were like, oh, it was an early stoppage. And it's one of those like Ivan Drago moments, where it's like,
I can get why they're bitching a bit about the stoppage, because it wasn't like it was some super devastating fucking hit that came and then he just put like one or two on them and they had to stop it. This was a stoppage from pure volume.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. You're right. It was a stoppage from volume, but those 12-6 elbows in the head, you can't tell me those didn't hurt, dude.
Oh, absolutely. I think because of the people bitching about the stoppage is because Ankalaev looked perfectly fine after. And they're taking out of it is, yeah, you can look all right, you can act all right, but sometimes you just get so dominated that it's, hey, if we don't stop this, now this guy's going to get really hurt.
Yeah, and I think, you pointed it out earlier a couple of minutes ago that Alex forced the referee to intervene by his action, right? By his nonstop action, staying busy. He forced the referee's hand to where the referee has to intervene, no matter how hurt or not hurt Ankalaev is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think those elbows hurt like a mofo, dude. I'm just saying, like, you're getting 12-6 elbowed in your head, whether you're covering up or not. Some of those elbows are getting through, man. And like, I don't know if you've ever been elbowed with the point of an elbow in the head, but it's nasty.
Not a 12-6. I've caught fucking a 9-3.
Yeah, 10-2, 9-3, right?
Yeah, yeah, not fun. Not fun.
Yeah. So imagine a 12-6 coming down with all that force, dude, like, and the point of the elbow.
This brings up a good debate with the whole elbow. There is the debate on which one is stronger, that crossbody elbow or the 12-6. I think you can generate more out of that cross body just from simple body mechanics.
Maybe so. I think you might be able to generate more force that way, but I think that that's more a forearm shot than an elbow shot. Like the 12-6 is pure point of the elbow.
Yeah.
And so I think that's more. I think the 12-6s are more damaging, but the 9-3s are more like
forceful,
more capable of knock. They're more like forceful, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's a good way to explain it.
It's less damage overall, but it provides more damage to a very specific area.
Yeah, I think it's like more liability. The 12-6s are more liable to cut, and they can also knock people out. Have you seen that old? Remember, like UFC 1? Remember that black dude in the karate gi where the dude, he crucifixed the dude and he elbowed him with those 12-6s about 6 or 8 times. Dude was out on the first elbow.
I was going to say, I think I vaguely remember that one.
Oh, man.
It's been quite a while since I've watched it, but.
Oh, bro, pull it up. Like, we can't watch it here, but pull it up on your phone real quick because we're talking about elbows. All you have to do is, like, put it up on YouTube, put UFC black guy gi elbow, and it'll pull it up, dude. Like, he crucifixes this dude, and he hits – I think his name's, like, Gary Goodridge or something like that. I forget the black dude's name. But, he elbows – he's got these 12-6 elbows, and the guy, he's crucifixed, so he's completely helpless, dude. And he's out after the first elbow.
Yeah,
but
it's Gary Goodridge.
Yeah, dude, he's out after the first elbow.
It wasn't UFC 1. It looks like it was 8. Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was in the early days. Yeah, watch that video real quick, Ken. Oh, my goodness, dude. It's one of the nastiest knockouts you'll ever see in your life, dude. Oh, they even got music for it, huh?
Oh, this is the actual video of it, like the intro and everything. I just skipped forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this shit now. Oh, God. Yep, good night. He ends up fracturing his cheekbone doing it.
Dude, like, all you have to do, if you're bitching about that stoppage, all you have to do is go and watch that Gary Goodrich video. That's what can happen with 12-6 elbows, dude. So I have no problem with the stoppage whatsoever. Like, Alex earned it. The bigger thing, so we talked about the fight somewhat, right? The bigger thing for me is what it does for the division, right? Because let's get into, Yuri also fought on the card, and
which was an amazing fight.
The last round was amazing, in my opinion. The last round was amazing.
It's a Yuri fight. He loses the beginning rounds because he's got to do his samurai bullshit. Then he goes, "Oh shit, I'm losing," and goes, "Let me knock this fucker out real quick."
The fight went. I want to say it went like we thought it would, but it's like it kind of. I was surprised at the lack of success that Yuri had in the beginning of the fight. I thought Khalil fought a very good fight for the first 2 rounds. He did an excellent job with his technical boxing. He wasn't letting Yuri get off. He was getting off and using footwork.
Yep, that's exactly what I think the difference was how good his technical boxing was in the beginning. Because Yuri, for how much we like him and how entertaining he is, I don't want to say he's not that great of a technical boxer, but he don't show his technical boxing whatsoever. He's very
you can go ahead and say it. Yuri is not a terribly great technical boxer, but he's not terrible either because that 1-2-3 that he hit to knock out Khalil Roundtree, like that you remember he spammed the 1-2 boom boom, and then he came with the left hook that just put him down, right? That combination, they were all very crisp, tight punches. He put Yuri has, I'm not going to say it's Topuria levels of accuracy, But Yuri had when he's dialed in, when he's locked in, he can put it on the chin, dude. Like, because if you go back and watch that KO, that left hook, Yuri even pulled it up a little bit. He shortened it at the end because he saw that he was going to overshoot. He managed, as it's in motion, he managed to like pull it back in just a little bit, and it put it right on Khalil's chin, and that was it, dude. Like, I challenge you, go back and watch that again. Like, watch that left hook as it lands or as it's about to land. You'll see that Yuri, at first, he's kind of overshooting it where it's going to hit like here, but he shortens it up and it just right here, dude. And that was it. But that fight was the first 2 rounds, I'm not going to lie, it was kind of boring for me because it was like, maybe boring's not the right word. It was just sort of a landslide for Khalil. Like, those first 2 rounds, like, there was not a single moment of those first 2 rounds that I felt like you could give to Yuri, or you could say, like, Yuri's in this fight. He was just getting outclassed. But then
absolutely, you can't take nothing from Roundtree. The dude's a hell of a boxer.
Yeah. And then at the end of round 2, Khalil gassed. And that was the thing, is like, I think that was the difference. There was two things that made the difference in the fight for me. The way I break down fights. Like, first was that Khalil gassed, and so his footwork was not, he wasn't able to use that footwork like he did in the first 2 rounds because he's tired, right? And second was Yuri realized, shit, I'm down 2 rounds. And see, because for the first 2 rounds, I feel like Yuri was trying to play Khalil's game. He was like trying to play this chess match game with Khalil, and it's like, that's not your game, bro. Like, Yuri's game is chaos. Like, he thrives in the chaos, and that, I think that, as much as Yuri was impressive with his victory, right? Like, he snatched that victory from the jaws of defeat, right? He pulled it out of the fire. But I think the blueprint for how to beat Yuri is in that fight. Like, you keep it technical, and you just sit there and pick him apart. Don't allow him to create the chaos, right? So I think Yuri has a real problem if he comes up against a guy with excellent footwork who can get in, get off, and get out. I think Yuri can get pieced up, man. He showed vulnerability there. His chin is solid, obviously. He took some good shots, but strategy-wise, I'm saying, I think people are going to be studying that fight, and they're like,
So it sounds like it's time for him to hit up the local boxing gym and just spend like 3 months, because it's what, roughly 6 to 9 before you're getting your next fight.
3 months isn't enough time, bro. Like,
well, yeah, I'm talking about that as an addition to before you're going into camp.
Yeah, but I'm saying, bro, 3 years is barely enough time. Like, training professional boxers, you know how long those guys train before they go pro?
My cousin went pro, so I know all about that.
It's years, bro. Like, it takes 3 years just to get some decent footwork down, dude. Like, and learn how to throw a punch. Like, to get high level in boxing, it takes a long time. So I'm not saying Yuri shouldn't train boxing, technical boxing. I think he absolutely should. I'm just saying, don't expect drastic. I'm not saying he's going to become fucking Floyd Mayweather overnight. I'm just saying this will at least lessen your weakness a bit. Yeah. No, yeah. I don't disagree with that at all.
Speaking of that, did you see Yuri's face when he saw what Pereira did to Ankalaev?
Yeah, he was very proud of Alex. Yuri and Alex, as quiet as it's kept, they're kind of friends. Like, Yuri was actually in the room when Alex was cutting weight for his fight. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, but when they went to him in the stands, you could just see almost like a look of shock and minor horror in his face of holy fuck, he just did that, and I might have to fight him again after he already dominated me.
See, I didn't see that at all. I saw Geary. He had tears in his eyes, and they asked him why afterwards. They said, "Were you just that proud of Alex?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Actually, it was because I thought, here's my moment. Like, I'm actually, I see a third fight with Alex on the horizon." He's like, "That's the fight that I want." And they asked him, they're like, "Well, what's going to be the difference, man? Like, you've already lost twice horrifically, right? Like, what's going to be different in this third fight?" And he said, it's win or die. Like, he's like, "I'll find a way. I just know, like, I'll find a way." And I'm not buying it personally. Like, I think Alex is too smart to get caught in the chaos with Geary, but I don't think we're going to get that fight anyway, because Alex, in his post-fight interview, he's very respectful. So John Jones's brother Arthur died 2 days or the day before. So rather than call out John Jones, which it was his plan, he had a speech and everything prepared, a call-out speech. Alex decided to pay his respects to Arthur. Very classy move, right? And he's like, obviously this isn't the time. We'll talk about it. But he did, see, Alex was smart because he called him out without calling him out, right? He said, "I had a speech prepared, but, based on what happened with John Jones's brother, like, it's not the right time. Respect to John Jones, respect to his family," right? So It's a classy move, but who do you think he was calling out? Like, it's pretty obvious. Like, he's like, "I had a speech prepared, but I'm not going to do that now because it's not the classy thing to do given the circumstances." But that's still a call out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And John Jones responded on Twitter and said something like, "Wow, Alex, like, John Jones was impressed with his class, but also probably that dominating performance." I say all that to say this. I could see, and then in the post-fight press conference, Alex says he wants to go up to heavyweight. So, like, shortly after the fight, Khamzat Chimaev called out Alex and said, "Now we can settle our differences at 205. And Alex was like, or actually Khamzat was like, "Hey, congratulations, great fight. Now we can handle our business." And Alex was like, "Nah." He's like, "Thanks for the congrats, but nah. I'm going up to heavyweight." So it looks like, just reading the tea leaves here, I think that White House card is going to have John Jones and Alex Pereira on it.
It wouldn't shock me, because I was sitting there telling the old lady while we were watching that fight there, especially after it with how dominating of a performance it was, that him losing had cost him a massive payday in a huge super fight for the UFC. So not only did he lose his belt, but he lost all that money and all the movement to his legacy that fight would have incurred, win or loss.
Mm-hmm.
So
but now it's back on.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was getting at with it, is that with how much of a dominating performance that was, and with all the talk about John Jones ducking guys that could possibly beat him, this might be the one that he actually takes.
Yeah, I agree, because I think he thinks that he can beat Alex. I think he's convinced that he can beat Alex. And I think he can too. But I also think Alex can beat him. Some interesting facts, right? So Alex has like an 80-inch reach. John Jones, 84. They're both 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
Alex has long legs. He's not quite as long as John Jones, but he's got some long legs too. He's an excellent leg kicker. He's an excellent kickboxer. Wrestling, John Jones is going to look to wrestle him. I guarantee it. Like, Jones is going to look to take him down and, we'll see what happens. Like I lean towards John Jones in that fight because of the wrestling, but I definitely think it's possible that Alex could catch him. If I'm Alex, I'm staying on the outside. I'm playing John Jones's game. I'm not getting in close and clinching with him. I'm going to kick his legs until he can't walk anymore, and then I'm going to hit him with something and take him out. But if this fight does come to fruition, it leaves an interesting gap there at 205, right? Because you have Olberg, who's coming off the victory over Dominic Reyes. You have Yuri, who's coming off 2 top 5 wins now, right? So to me, and again, I'm not Sean Shelby, I'm not the UFC matchmaker, but it makes sense to me to have Yuri and Olberg fight for the vacant title. And to me, now as a fan of both Alex and Yuri, this is the best case scenario, right? Because we don't have to see Yuri get in there and lose to Alex again. Yuri gets the belt back, or he gets his shot at the belt, and I believe he'll beat Olberg. Yuri gets a chance to reign as champion, and as long as he doesn't get injured and have to give up the title again, he'll have a chance to establish his reign, right? Alex goes up to heavyweight for the legacy fight, because let's be real, Alex doesn't have a whole lot of fights in him left. You know what I mean? He's 38 years old. Like, he's already accomplished so much in the sport that it's like, what's left? The Triple Crown. Like, the 185, the 205, and the heavyweight belt. If he can accomplish that, he's the GOAT. Like, I think he even surpasses John Jones if he can accomplish that. To win a title in 3 different weight classes has never been done. Right?
Yeah, but do you think he's beaten Aspinall?
I mean,
that's my whole thing with it. Is that I get what you're trying to set up, but that's a huge linchpin in the thing of I don't know if he can fully beat Aspinall. Now, I'm not sitting here saying he's got no shot against him at all, but it's a question.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge question. And I'm not, like, I would lean Aspinall in that fight for sure, right? But my point is, let's say that they make Alex and John Jones, right? If Alex loses to John Jones, it's not going to tarnish his legacy all that much. He's already a 2-division champion. And let's not forget, Alex only has like 15 pro MMA fights, dude. Like 16 pro MMA fights. He's like 13 and 3. You know what I mean? Like maybe 13 and 2. Like he's
I'm looking right now. Yeah, 13 and 3.
13 and 3, bro. Like, so he's 13 and 3. That's not a phenomenal record. You know what I mean? To have 3 losses and only 16 fights is not a phenomenal record. But now when you look at the resume, like he beat Adesanya, he beat Strickland, right? Let's see, who else? Can you pull up his career stats? Let's look at his resume, because already, in my opinion, he has a Hall of Fame resume. You'll see where I'm going. We're going to walk the dog a little on this.
Okay. In 2021, he beats, let me see what, Andreas Michelidias.
Uh-huh.
Then he beats, let me see, Bruno Silva.
Mm-hmm.
Beats Strickland. Beats Israel.
So beats Strickland. Strickland is a former champ and a top 5 middleweight, right? Beats Adesanya, the greatest middleweight, aside from Anderson Silva, the greatest middleweight of all time, right? Loses to Adesanya, moves up to 205. And then what?
He beats
Jan Blachowicz.
Blachowicz. Okay.
Jan Blachowicz, right? Also a former champion.
Yep, beats Yuri.
Beats Yuri Prochazka, former champion.
Beats Jamal Hill.
Former champion. And all three of those guys are top 5 guys.
Devastates Yuri.
Devastates Yuri again, right?
Mm-hmm. Beats Roundtree, in which I think Roundtree had a decent fight against him, but again, beats him handedly.
Yeah, but Roundtree was like number 8 at that point. But Roundtree has since then, like, Roundtree is a real fighter, dude. Like, he's a real competitor. He's a real contender. He's really built his stock over the last couple of years, right? Then he loses to Ankh. Then he comes back and destroys.
We appreciate you, Brent.
It's all good, man. So he then he comes back and just wipes the floor with Ankh, right? At this point right now, you could say he's had a Hall of Fame level career. Now, let's say he goes up and he fights John Jones. And let's say he's competitive with John Jones. Not even beats John Jones, but just competitive. He's going to get a rub from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he can take John Jones, give him a great fight, he's going to get a rub from that. But now let's walk the dog. Let's say he beats John Jones. Right?
Yeah,
at that point right
yeah.
there, he's already cemented himself. In my opinion, there's no way he's not a Hall of Famer at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in the GOAT conversation at that point. The only person to ever really, well, I don't want to say the only person to beat John Jones because Dominic Reyes beat him, you know, but the judges didn't see it that way for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But so let's say he beats John Jones, right? Now he's the number 1 contender. There's no doubt in my mind he's the number 1 contender. If Aspinall gets by Cyril Gane, there's no way they're going to put somebody else in there with Alex coming off a win over John Jones, right? So let's say Alex has 2 fights left in him, 3 fights, right? You got the John Jones fight. You win that one. You got the Aspinall fight. I mean, at that point, you might as well hang it up after the Aspinall fight, don't you think?
Yeah.
Win or lose.
Yeah, because who the hell is he going to go up against after Aspinall? That's going to be a major boost to the name.
Exactly. He has everything to lose in fighting after Aspinall, right? Like, you're going to fight a lower contender and risk losing because at heavyweight, it only takes 1 punch, dude. Anybody could land that punch, you know? And, like, you don't want to go out on, like, a Pavlovich, although Pavlovich is a decent fighter. You don't want to go out on a Cyril Gane or a Pavlovich when you could go out on Aspinall. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's say Alex beats John Jones, which I think is possible, and then he fights Aspinall. If he loses to Aspinall, he's still in the GOAT conversation. He's fought in three weight classes and fought for a belt in 3 weight classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's walk the dog and let's say, what if he beats Aspinall? I don't think that's likely, but what if he beats Aspinall?
I think you got to give him the GOAT status at that point. But the only argument I would have, and again, I'm slightly biased here, would be Prime Spider. The run he had at light heavyweight there that went nuts.
Yeah, I mean, no, it was at middleweight, and then he fought a couple times.
I reversed that.
See, to me, Anderson Silva is not one of the GOATs like of MMA, in my opinion. He's the GOAT of the middleweight division for sure. Like, in my opinion, he's the best 185er to ever do it. And he probably could have won a title at 205, but Anderson Silva is not fighting at heavyweight ever. And to me, pound for pound matters, right? Like, how many weight classes can you go up and still be competitive? Like, this is like GSP. He went up to 185 and he won a belt. So he won 2 titles, right? He won titles in 2 weight classes. But is GSP going up to 205? I don't think so. He had problems bulking up to 185. Like, he had to give up the belt right after because he had, I forget what it's called. He had the colitis or ulcerative colitis or something like that, right? Like, so GSP, as great as he was, he's not winning a belt at 205. Alex starts at 85, goes up to 205, wins the belt there, and then walking the dog, he beats Aspinall and wins the heavyweight belt.
I get what you're saying about marching up the weight classes, but to me, pound for pound is if you took the weight and threw it out and who was the better fighter skill-wise. And personally, and this is my opinion, is just that prime Anderson Silva. I don't think anybody's really beaten him.
So you're telling me that if you were to, they could fight at 205. You're telling me right now that you think Anderson Silva beats Alex Pereira at 205?
In his prime, yes.
Wow. I mean, I'm not saying you're crazy for saying that. Like, understand, like, Anderson was really awesome in his prime.
Oh, yeah.
I just, if Weidman can knock out Anderson Silva, what do you think Alex is going to do if he catches him? Like, that's the thing, man. Like,
that's also
put him into the shadow realm, bro. Like,
that's also the thing. It was catching him at that point. Good luck with that.
Well, Alex is a much better technical striker than Chris Weidman. And he has those leg kicks, like, and Anderson Silva, he has great jiu-jitsu, but when did you ever see Anderson take anyone down? He didn't. See what I'm saying? You're sitting here thinking, and you're thinking, and you're going to continue to think because he never took anyone down in the history of his career. I've never seen him take anyone down. I've never seen Anderson shoot a double leg or even put somebody on the cage and take them down, right? Like, he's knocked them down, but Anderson, I've never seen Anderson actually.
We're gonna say I think he's put a couple guys on the cage and brought them down.
I don't remember a single one.
I'll have
and that's
to go.
not to say that he didn't. That's not to say that he didn't.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm definitely not positive either.
I'm not the encyclopedia,
Yeah.
but I do not remember a single time that Anderson Silva ever took somebody down. Now, why am I saying that? You know why I'm saying that. Because that plays directly into Pereira's favor, right? There's no threat of a takedown for Alex. Alex has excellent takedown defense. There's no threat from Anderson of taking him down, which means they're going to box it out. They're going to kickbox it out in the middle of the ring, dude. Unless Alex decides to take him down, which would be like, that would be the most retarded thing you could do. Like, why would you do that? Like, hey, I know that I like this is a 50-50 fight on the feet. So let me go ahead and take you to your world where I'm completely, like, I have no chance. Like, no, dude. See, Brent agrees with you. I don't. I think Alex wins that fight. I'm not saying it's a landslide or a blowaway, but I think Anderson gets knocked out late. I do. I think Alex finishes him. And this isn't recency bias. This is just completely objective based on their what they're good at, their technical skills. Alex has a significant power advantage. He has a significant. Anderson Silva is also a very good leg kicker. They're both good leg kickers. Anderson has the advantage. Well, I don't know. Alex has good head kicks and body kicks too. They're
That's
both really good kickboxers.
that's my thing. Is Anderson was very good on his bicycle, staying outside at the perfect range for him to connect.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic fight. It's a dream fight.
Oh yeah,
It's an absolute dream fight. I personally would I'd put money on Alex on that fight. But, you know, the fact that we're talking about Alex with 16 MMA fights in the same conversation, and we're saying prime Silva, like that's a toss up. Like, you know what I mean? You might say you think Anderson wins, but you're not saying that you're 90% sure Anderson wins.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not sitting there saying that this is going to be some super landslide victory, because Silva's going to have his work cut out for with Pereira. But from the crazy shit I've seen Silva do, it's hard to bet against that man, especially when he was in his prime.
And I love Anderson, dude. Like you'll get no Anderson hate from me, even though he did steroids after he broke his leg. Like I still don't give him hate for that, because he wasn't doing steroids to gain a competitive advantage. He did it to heal his leg so he could come back and fight. Exactly. I view that fight as a coin flip. Like whoever has the better day that day. And I also think that if they were to fight 10 times in a row, it would be like 6-4 one way. You know, I think that they would split those. It could even be 5-5. Like they would split those fights. It wouldn't be 8-2 or 9-1 or even, I don't even think 7-3. I think they split those fights 6-4, 5-5. Like I think they're that evenly matched, but in different areas, right? Mm-hmm. Alex has the power advantage. Silva has the speed advantage. They're both excellent kickers. Neither one of them are wrestlers, right? Anderson's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he doesn't pose the takedown threat to where he can get it to the ground with Pereira, and Pereira has excellent takedown defense. So it's going to be a fantastic stand-up fight, right? And it's just whoever lands the better shot. But so let's say hypothetically he beats Aspinall and he wins a belt in a third weight class, and beating John Jones and then Tom Aspinall back to back.
That's what I think would do it. Because usually I'm one for, you got to see a little more out of the guy, this, that, and the other type of thing with that. But when you're putting scalps on your wall like that, especially after such a dominating performance with your last fight, hard to vote against him for it.
So let's say he beats Jones but loses to Aspinall. Like, do you put him in the GOAT conversation, or do you? I mean, where do you rank him?
I'd put him in the fringe of it, because if he doesn't beat Aspinall, you can say the only reason he beat Jones is because Jones is older now.
Mm-hmm. That's a fair argument.
Yeah. I think for him to be the GOAT, he's got to run that gauntlet of it. Otherwise, to me, he's a fringe GOAT candidate. GOAT candidate, because there's a lot of up and down with it. Did he just happen to get lucky of getting John Jones at the right time? Because look what Aspinall did to him.
Well, and how does Aspinall beat him is the thing. Like, if Aspinall wipes the floor with him, then yeah, like I think that.
If he wipes the floor with him, I don't even think it's going to be a GOAT conversation. I think, I think it'll be he's one of the great fighters, but not one of the best.
I mean,
like you get what I mean, right?
Yeah. I think like he's an all-time great, but he's not the GOAT.
Yeah.
Right. Like he doesn't when you're naming the GOAT, he's not in that conversation, right? But he's an all-time great, right? Like he's somebody that definitely is a Hall of Famer, deserves to be remembered for what they accomplished, but when you're talking strictly about the GOAT, you don't
Yeah.
put him in that category. See, for me, if he beats Jones and then loses to Aspinall, I still kind of put him in that conversation, because to do that at three different weight classes, man, that's the thing for me, is like, in such a short time, he beat the contenders in each of the weight classes dominantly, right? Like, his title defenses were all knockouts, bro, like dominant. Ankalaev had one loss. He was like 22-1, 21-1, bro. Like,
To be slightly fair about the moving up the weight classes, did you see how much weight he put on after he rehydrated after weigh-ins? He put on almost 30 pounds.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is Alex, bro, if you weigh in, you weigh in. Like, if Alex wants to walk around and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it's more of his natural body weight at heavyweight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But think about that, though. Like, I get what you're saying. You're saying, like, he's a natural heavyweight, so it's not really that big of an adjustment to go up to heavyweight. Plus, he's cutting an insane amount of weight to get down to 205, and then when he rehydrates, he's going to be heavier than those guys at 205. But now here's the thing. He still has to cut. He had to cut down to 85, bro. He walks around at 230 pounds, 240 pounds, and he had to cut down to 85, and he made that cut more than once. More than once, bro. Like, so to me, bro, the fact that he got on the scale and he made weight, he can be as heavy as he wants, dude. Like, he's the one suffering for that. He's the one who cut 55 pounds to get down to fucking 85, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's insane, dude.
Dude, can you
That's
imagine
insane,
what
bro.
his kidneys? Can you imagine what his kidneys got to look like?
Bro, they look like a
Guaranteed they're
90-year-old
not
man
fucking
all
good.
shriveled up.
Son of a bitch, you hear Coca-Cola.
Bro, that's crazy, though. 55 pounds, dude. 45 pounds to cut, right? But I really think this Jones fight is going to happen. I think Jones will be more realistic about his number because of the opponent. I don't think he's going to be asking for $35 million. I think he'll be more realistic because he realizes...
Maybe not the full 35, but I don't see him going too low with it.
Well, no, he's going to try to get what he can get. But here's the thing. See, John Jones has an ego, man. And this White House card, John Jones, from the moment it was announced, has been throwing his name in the hat. He wants this White House card so bad. Why? Because he feels like you can't have the White House card, this once in a lifetime thing, without having me on it, right? So I think that's going to force some concessions out of him.
Mm-hmm. And especially now, I don't know 100% how true this is, but the rumor is they'll be starting their walkouts from the Oval Office. You don't think he wants to be a part of something like that with John Jones? Absolutely.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, Jones will give his left nut to be a part of this card, dude. So and plus he's getting the opponent that he wanted, because they could have easily said, okay, you can get on the White House card, fight Aspinall. And I don't think Jones takes it because of the risk. You know?
See,
maybe
if I was Dana White, and obviously nowhere near Dana White, but that would be the only fight I'd offer him. You want to fight Alex? That's cool. You can fight him after Aspinall, though.
So, even though Jones gave up the belt,
I'd make him still fight it. You want to fight? It's Aspinall or nothing.
Damn. See, then you'd lose out on huge money, because and Dana White's not going to do that. He's not going to miss out on an opportunity. Dude.
Yeah. But if you can goat him into that Aspinall fight, especially at the White House, that's going to be insane money.
It's not going to be as much money as the Alex fight, and I'll tell you why. As good of a fighter as Aspinall is, he's fantastic. Aspinall is not a superstar. Like his fan base is not terribly huge. Casuals don't recognize Tom. They're not going crazy for Tom Aspinall. Did you hear how many people were saying Shama in that post fight after Alex whooped on Ankalaev? Did you hear that whole freaking arena was saying Shama, Shama? That's what I'm saying, dude. That matters. Casuals know who Alex is, and casuals will fork out pay-per-view dollars to watch Alex and John Jones fight. John Jones has a fan base. Oh, right on.
There you
Congratulations.
go.
So John Jones has a huge fan base, right? A lot of them are idiots, but nevertheless, he has a huge fan base. Alex has a huge fan base as well, dude. That fight is going to sell. If they do Jones versus Alex, it's selling maybe 2.5 million pay-per-views, dude. Like 2 million. I would say 2 million. They'll lose out on the 0.5 and many, many more because of the pirating. You know, ahoy matey. Raising the black flag, you know. But I really think that fight, even if they do 1.5 is huge for a UFC pay-per-view. You know, nobody does Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao numbers, like 4 million pay-per-views, you know what I mean? Even Canelo Alvarez is doing like 750 if he has a really good opponent, like a really famous opponent, maybe 1 million, you know, 1 million buys. That John Jones fight versus Alex will do at least 1 million buys, for sure. And then that's not even counting who else is on the card, right? Like, if it's me, okay, before we go, give me one fight that you absolutely have to have on that White House card besides Alex John Jones.
Well, from all the freaking talk, it sounds like that one fight is McGregor versus Diaz.
You and me we're like this, bro. It's got to be McGregor Diaz 3, dude. It has to be. And, you know, just an interesting little nugget here. Conor just accepted a suspension for doping, right? But it's a retroactive suspension. It's an 18-month suspension. And it just so happens that suspension ends in April of 2026. That White House card is June of 2026. So why do you think Conor accepted the suspension? And here's one thing I will say. If Conor, as soon as that suspension is up or is almost up, if Conor enters the testing pool, I think we're getting McGregor Diaz 3, dude. Because remember, Dana White said a long time ago, well, that fight's always there. We can do that anytime. Mm-hmm. But it's been 8 years since they last fought. That fight has a shelf life. Whether people want to admit it or not, it does. And that, I think we're getting to the end of that best buy date, right? Like, I think you got to do it soon. And, you know, you've taken 8 years to do it. It's like that bottle of wine you've been saving for a long time, right? It's time to pop the cork, Dana. It's time. Can you imagine how big that card would be? Alex versus John Jones, Diaz McGregor 3. Bro, you're talking realistically, you could do 3 to 4 million pay-per-view. Like 2.5, 3.5, somewhere in that range. Maybe not Pacquiao versus Floyd numbers, but 2.5 to 3.5 million pay-per-views, dude.
I can see it. With it being the White House card in 2 super fights.
Unfortunately, we're out of time, guys. We'll pick this conversation up next week, and we'll also talk about the upcoming pay-per-view, 321. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, like and share. Share for the Huddle Sports Network. Get our viewership up and tell a friend. Until next week, we'll see you guys.
Yeah, and remember, Marab's gas tank never runs out.
Yeah, yo, it's game time, ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all